Welcome to Freddy Fair the second, where I share useful things I've thought about lately. Yesterday I had an insight about something that I take from, I just had a long run, and the plane is above us. Okay, hopefully it doesn't interfere too much. Yesterday I had an insight based on Shanti's teaching. I will link to his this piece of audio. It's like this solution to the problem that was associated with a story I heard. A friend of mine, and actually has a friend. It's just not my friend, but it's a friend of a friend who is has a serious cancer in his chest, and he doesn't have a long time left, very sadly. My friend is older, like much 30 years older than me. So yeah, this guy is around 60 years old, I think. There's so much airplanes flying above me here. But we just concluded, I've never met the guy, but we both concluded that this guy has had some emotional pain that he has been repressing for a decade. That's what we think. And with no qualifications of any medical sort, we conclude that this repression of his emotions, especially from a very serious breakup that he had a decade ago. He hasn't had a girlfriend since then, and he is not really the guy who opens up that easily. So yeah, it sounds like this classic type who suffers from emotional repression that might have manifested this cancer that he has. That's our take on it. And very glad that I'm not mentioning the names, and I would never say this to a person like that. Hey, do you know that you've probably repressed your emotions and that's why you're gonna die? I would never say that. I think everyone has this black cloud of stuff inside them, very, very, very deep, made of traumas. The way we perceive the world is like filtered through our traumas. So when we take care of our traumas and past emotional pain and glory, also good emotions that never get to run out. Maybe you had something you accomplished and you never had the time to tap yourself on the shoulder or high five your partners because you had to get on to the next thing. So all that stuff is, every one of us, we have that baggage that we drag around. And this thing needs to be healed at some point if you're gonna be completely healthy, if you're gonna enlighten yourself. So how do we do that? I was wondering, really, is there a system to this? That was a question I had for a long time, until I heard this audio piece by Shanti, who said it really well. He said that underneath anger, all the resisting, all negative emotions, anger, jealousy, stress, there's a grief. There's grief under frustration, anger, jealousy. There's grief underneath all that. At one point in your life, and several, you felt like you lost a part of yourself. It was painful, and it was sad. But your life circumstances maybe made it so that you never had the time or the willingness, or maybe you were just didn't feel strong enough to deal with it. The grief didn't get fully processed. I knew about that. I knew that yeah, there's a emotional repression, and that there's sorrow and grief that you have to go through. But what does that really mean, going through it? And then I was thinking, like, I had a lot of nights, dark nights of the soul, over the past, like for a period of 6 months. It wasn't as bad as it sounded, but there were a lot of nights where I was just very curious, and there was some fear. Like, I was also pushing myself to experience bad things. I was thinking about bad things and bad thoughts, because my goal was for this to, isn't that how I heal myself? By just being in the pain? And that was useful, realizing that, yeah, it is to, dive in. But what Adyashanti said gave me a reason to dive in. He said, the reason why you're having this grief is you lost something you cared about. You lost a part of yourself. You thought you lost a part of yourself. And you were sad about it. Maybe it never got fully processed, but you were sad about it. And the reason why you were sad about it is because you cared. But Adyashanti, he said this, that when you tap into the loving part of the grief, then the healing starts. And that the reason why you have this grief is that you thought you lost a part of yourself. And where's the love there? Well, the love is that you cared about this. You cared about this part of yourself, or this thing, or this person, something that meant something deeply to you. You lost it, and you're sad. You were sad about it. It was sad because you cared about it. And when you go deeper, and to the deepest depth of all that, you will find that the reason why there's this black sorrow, grief, down, all the way down there, all in the end there, is that you care about yourself. You love yourself. So in the deepest grief, the reason why you're sad, that is sad, is because you love yourself. And that's when the healing starts. When you tap into this. And this is self-hate. I've had self-hate. I just realized that when I was 4 years old, I was very angry. I was having I was raging every day, several times a day sometimes, and it was very tiring, exhausting for my mother. I don't remember much of it, but she says that you were very angry, very frustrated. And I also remember that I was banging my head against the walls when I was angry to get attention. I also said that I was going to kill myself, or that I wanted to die many times. But it was just to get attention. But I had self-hatred. I don't know how much, but there were times I was so frustrated. I also had trouble communicating, so I was very frustrated about that too. So I couldn't express myself a lot. So I had this manifested in some kind of like frustration and self-hatred. Why am I like this? Why can't I express myself when everybody else can? I can't put words on my thoughts. I was frustrated about things like that. I couldn't connect with people that easily. So I had this. I was angry at myself, like kind of hating myself. But the reason why I was hating myself was because I loved myself. I cared about myself. That was the bottom line. But then it gets so foggy and so black, the cloud gets thicker and thicker, and you don't remember who you are anymore. You don't remember your love for yourself. So I think I've hit a deep part of the healing. Like, this is a healing catalysator. Damn, that's a risky word to say. I probably said it wrong. But hope you got something out of that. This was important for me to realize that all my problems has basically been because all the self-hatred, all the insecurities, all that started with a love for myself, and that's always the start. But it gets so thick and black and dense. The energy gets so heavy. There's so many layers on that. So you forget the bottom line. You forget the unconditional love that you actually have for yourself. So yeah, I'll probably get into this more. It was good talking about it. These videos also help me to get better at explaining, also get more sure about my Tao or my philosophy. And I very much enjoy reading the comments on these videos too. They also help me get more ideas on what to talk about in future videos. So that was me today about healing. Everyone should look into what it really means to be healed. Okay? Enjoy your day, folks. I'll see you soon. Check out the report down there about the 3 ways to instantly get more confidence. And after that, you will also see a page where I talk about my social anxiety program.